see what my dog shits out.
I'm so happy I hit record when I did. Welcome back to the Bar Talk Podcast. I am Andy, and here with... Nope, Carl's not here.
Nope.
Here with Jess Hamill.
Hello.
Of New World Tavern, and Dan Mahoney of Stats.
Hello.
Hello.
We were just talking about dogs taking shits.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, when they eat weird things, you gotta, like, examine when they poop.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Are people still bringing in pets like the way they were like pre-COVID? Like,
you know what? It's funny. I
abandon.
literally just had this conversation with Matt yesterday. Knock on wood. We haven't really had anybody here try to like bring in a quote-unquote service dog in a while. Yeah. But Matt just recently encountered it somewhere. I forget where he said it was. It was like clearly wasn't a service dog.
Yeah.
We haven't, like, Boston let people, if you have a patio,
yeah,
let you decide if you want dogs on it.
Yeah.
So I think that
Oh,
helps.
so you as an establishment could say yes or no?
Yep. I mean, it's still, you get the people like, this is my service dog.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not. It's jumping all over you.
Yeah.
It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's going up and like sniffing and trying to get pet from other people. Like, that's not a service dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like rampant before, though. It felt like it was...
Everyone got that COVID dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was bad for a while. Actually, the few weeks ago on a Friday, I went over to Brewster Bar, and there was a woman with her, like, you know, kind of Labradoodle-ish type dog.
Yeah.
And, you know, at first it was sitting, like, right next to her underneath. And then it just got up and started walking around the whole fucking bar.
Dude.
And so Mike, the owner...
Was it unleashed, or...?
It had a leash on it. She just wasn't holding it.
Yeah.
She was too busy flirting with a dude next to her. And Mike came over and he's like, so, professional opinion, like, what do I do about this? Because he's like, you knew, like, it's a sensitive
you tell them to keep their fucking dog at the table.
I said, well, clearly it's not a service dog. And I said, so, I was like, if I were you, I would just say, hey, like, you have to keep your dog with you.
Yeah.
At all times. And so he's like, okay. He's like, I'm going to tell him that. And she went over, said that, and the woman was like, well, it's my service dog. And he just dead ass looked her in the eyes and he goes, no, it's not. And he's like, we both know that it's not.
Yeah.
You're literally just letting it roam around.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to kick you out.
Right.
What I'm just asking is that you just have it stay by your side.
Yeah. Like a service dog
would.
Should. Yeah.
And she's
let me help you with your lie at the next place you
right,
go.
yeah. She was like, oh, okay. And then about like 20 minutes later, it was up and roaming, but she was holding onto the leash.
Yeah.
And he just went over. He's like, dude.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
That's trip hazard.
So now you gotta go. Like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been that bad. It hasn't been that bad lately, which I figured it would have because like it's cold out, so like people want to try and sneak their dogs into more places. Yeah. So, but not quite.
See, I said that was more of a nice weather thing. You were like, oh, I'm gonna go for a walk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get drunk.
Well, they still gotta bring their dogs for a walk anyway.
Yeah, true.
Especially around here, you know.
True.
Because I just remember I heard once recently someone would refer to her dog as a service dog. I'm like, where the fuck was that? And it was one of those like pocketbook dogs where you're like,
ugh.
It's not.
Yeah. Listen.
It's not.
Have I brought Marty in a empty bag while he was sleeping and had lunch somewhere? Yeah, but he was also like a brand new puppy.
I was like, what kind of bag does
it
Marty
was? He was like a brand new puppy, and he was tiny.
Yeah.
So like I had like this like messenger bag that was like, you know, looked like there was stuff in it, but it really was just a dog.
But that's also like one of those.
And he just sat in the bag and slept the whole time.
Yeah.
And he was on the chair next to me, and every now and then he's still asleep.
Yeah.
So that's when puppies used to sleep all the time.
In New York, they made it like a law rule that you can only bring dogs on the train if they're in a bag. And
wait,
oh my god, hold on.
You can only bring a dog on a train in New York if it's in a bag.
Yes, so like it has to be in a backpack.
The idea was that it's gonna be like a little dog.
But like, what do you do with a Great Dane?
Oh, listen.
They do it.
They do it. They make these like I've seen like
it's like the big IKEA bags.
Yes, the big IKEA bags, and they'll like cut holes out for the
dog. Just like
so, like when they're on the train, they're just like holding the dog up.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
awesome. It's my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
That's so great.
It's like the people in New York are resilient.
Yeah, listen, I would. I'd be like, we're figuring this out.
That's a very Air Bud rule.
Yeah. Like, it's nothing.
Listen, look at this. First thing is fucking Basset Hound in an IKEA bag.
Yeah. Yep.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Yep. And so, like, look at this husky and like, that's a big backpack.
Yeah.
It's like in a backpack.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, they'll make it work.
They'll make Snarls.
I want to get a dog backpack.
I feel like any backpack is a dog backpack.
I know that's right. I want to get one for Steele so he can ride a motorcycle with me. Like get a motorcycle
sidecar.
Dude, I want to, but do you know how expensive those are? It's ridiculous. Unless anybody wants to build me one. Yeah, I know. I love that. I would make it work.
We had to address the fact that we didn't have the Air Bud rule for the Krampus scavenger hunt.
What's the Air Bud rule?
Yeah, what's
that?
The
Air Bud rule is there's no rule that says dog can't play basketball.
Okay.
So someone...
It's alright, I'm just as confused as you.
I'm willing to let him talk it out.
The prompt was your team in a kiddie pool, and this person submitted a picture. First of all...
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't taken that day. Of their horse.
Oh, yeah.
That had the same name as their team in a kiddie pool. And I said, okay, Air Bud rule, we never said that you couldn't have a horse on your team. However, if the horse is on your team, you're above the 6-person limit. So we're not allowing that picture.
A horse
and they were
in a
literally
kiddie
like,
pool.
well, that's fair.
They just want to show someone their horse in a kiddie
I know.
pool.
Yeah.
Where did one find a kiddie pool in January, December?
So we
yeah.
had one team in a kiddie pool,
Yeah.
and my immediate thing was, where the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Because it just looked like they ran into someone's backyard that had a kiddie pool.
Yeah.
So one of the teams, two of the people on the team lived downtown.
Okay.
So they went home and pulled the kiddie pool out of their shed. And I'm like, oh, good for you. Because when I put that on the list, I'm like,
no one's
that's
gonna
probably not
find
going to happen.
You know, pub crawl people are scavenger.
Resilient.
Scavenger pub crawl people are resilient.
And that's one of those things. That's why I love putting shit on there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, shit. I remember,
wow, that actually happened.
one year there was a crazy amount of points for a picture of your team at the end of the jetty.
Oh, yeah.
There's points for a picture of your team in a boat. Bonus points if that boat was in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So if friend of
I remember,
mine
somebody
who was
did
on
do
the
that.
team knew the harbor master. So I had the harbor master take them to the end of the jetty in the boat, in the water. I'm like, fuck, all right.
All right. Two birds, one stone.
There you go. That's a shit ton of points right there.
Right? That's awesome.
Because it was a ton of points to get to the end of the jetty, because I'm like, if you're going to take the time to walk
all the way down there
in December, you deserve some points. It was like 50 points or something.
Listen, also speaking of shit ton of points, we now have 11 new listeners to this podcast.
That is also true. Shout out to Scotty. Thank you, Scotty. Who found the broken part of the scavenger. It wasn't really
the loophole.
Broken. I just never expected anyone to take it that far. So you get 35 points if you get someone to subscribe to one of our 3 podcasts.
You just went all 3. Get greedy.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said he was going to do for next year.
So I think next year. So Scotty got 11 people to subscribe.
Yeah.
So it was like 385 points or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And so we're like, all right, next year we're going to have to put a limit. Maybe it's like you can have them subscribe once to each show.
Right.
And you're shut off.
So, hello, 11 new listeners.
The other teams.
Listen, don't cap subscribers, Andy.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah?
But the reason why it destroyed everybody is because no one else even got one.
Yeah.
It's like everyone could have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
So
it's not like...
Scotty is just way smarter.
Yeah.
He also had to, like, one of the things on the scavenger hunt was to make a commercial reel for the New World Tavern, and Scotty's was awesome. I was like, all right, I'm
Scotty's
saving this.
Awesome. And it was also get a piggyback from a musician.
Oh, yeah.
So Scotty had Mike McHugh give him a piggyback, and Mike McHugh texted me, he's like, am I going to get a bunch of other people asking me to do this?
Mike Wisdom, you going to tell?
Yeah. Shout out to Mike Wisdom also.
Yeah.
I will get to that. And Mike McHugh was not pleased. And I'm like, all right, so tell them no. He's like, I'm gonna. And I'm like, okay. Party pooper, it's fine.
No, one of the things was he had to get an autograph from Mike Wisdom over at the Hot Pot. And so he texted me, is like, how many more people are going to be asking me for my autograph?
And
so
we're
then
like, a dozen.
yeah. So he pre-autographed like a bunch of pieces of paper. So when they would come in,
and there was only 3 other teams. So
it was was so funny.
And then we sent people over to the BBC to the prompt was explain to the bartender how to correctly pour a Guinness. And Jack played into it, and she's like, one team like legitimately thought I was like, they were like, one team was leaving and another team was coming in. They're like, she's really pissed off.
That would have been me. I would have been like, no, we're not doing this. Yeah.
She texted me. She's like, you're an ass.
Oh, I would have loved to do that to Tiso.
Oh, yeah, that would have been great.
Well, the reason why I did it was there was one day, it was the fucking funniest thing I ever saw was this fucking British guy explaining to Jack how to pour Guinness.
Oh my god!
And he goes, I don't mean to tell you how to do your job. And she goes, yeah, but you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. First of all, he was British.
Yeah, and then after she did that, he continued to explain to her.
I still wouldn't, because if he was Irish, then I'd be like, okay, just maybe tell me your little bit of words of wisdom. But he's British, get fucked.
And it wasn't like he had like a fucking super secret,
trick. Yeah,
trick. It was just like the correct way to pour Guinness, which is I'll show it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What else?
That was funny.
Yeah.
I like this. Torment the fucking town.
Yeah.
Fucking scavenger.
I know. It was so...
The first year we did it,
yeah,
I went around and been like, hey, is it okay if we put it... And what can we do?
Yeah.
Kinda,
being so polite about
it.
Now you're like, I ain't telling anybody.
Like, someone's like, why don't you tell us when you're doing it? I'm like, I kind of told Jack, but like, I just happened to see her.
I think it's so much better not.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, the first person walks in, you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
And another one, like, yo, am I on TV?
Damn, Andy! And the first person to go into BBC to get the Guinness pour, their video started with someone going, we love Andy. And I'm like, oh, what did Jack say? Right before that.
Yeah. We did a scavenger hunt one year.
Yeah, the CBC students.
Yes, it ended here. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that was a good time.
Yeah, I
forget who else was on our team, but we had a bunch of people.
Did you do? So I did a couple times. Did you do the Ninja Turtle one?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
so that one. I think I had a bunch of friends come out of town.
Yes, I think it was. Yeah, I think
there was one year. Me and Jordan did a Speedwell BBC teams. Every bar is supposed to have one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Speedwell had like 900 people on the team.
Oh my god!
the year
I'm salty competing against Jordan because I always feel like he has some sort of angle. That
he's competitive.
The one we did, we probably only had like whatever the team was supposed. This wasn't that, but it was unfair because each bar had their own trivia. I'm like, I know the answer to this BBC.
Oh,
that was my other thing.
Yeah.
I actually, speaking of going back and listening to old episodes, I'm almost positive I give shit to Jordan on one of these episodes. And the question was, how many pounds of chicken?
No, you obviously knew.
Yeah.
So he obviously knew, but if you asked the kitchen, they gave you the wrong answer.
Yeah.
And then Jordan's like, oh, that's how many pounds of wings we go through, not how many pounds of chicken.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you fucking had that answer locked and loaded.
Oh, yeah. It was great because you had to spend like X amount of time trying to find, like, I think in BBC it was a scavenger hunt, so you had to go find it. Like,
yeah.
All right, you know what all the fucking stuff is because I hung up the stick.
Right, yeah.
And then he did that, so we just cruised through 2 stops. Like I'm pretty sure we still wasted time drinking there. But
that was the one we had an inebriate team, and it was like if everyone was wearing the same T-shirt, you got points. And our T-shirts were like that was the first time we ordered T-shirts, and like we didn't get them on time, so I'm like just stickers, and they're like, come on, I'm like. I ordered shirts, and I had broken. That was like when I broke my ankle, so I was walking around in a cast doing it.
Yeah, we had
camo.
I don't remember what the fuck they said on them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. Yeah, I got to get more like bars involved in this.
I know. I was saying to him, I was like, I love doing scavenger hunts like that, but like I'm just every time that anybody's ever doing one, it's a Saturday afternoon and I have to work.
Maybe we do an industry one in the summer.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
The warm weather ones are way more fun.
Yeah. do it on a Monday and just wreak havoc on a town on a Monday in the summer.
But half the town's not open now.
So we have to break into each location.
Oh, so there was
the key to
with permission, with consent.
Was it a couple years ago? One of the things on there was your team playing pool.
Oh yeah,
and the team posted a picture of them playing pool, and we're like, "Where
is that?
Is this?" And it's because one person was a member of the Old Colony Club. But we spent to the point at the end. We're like, "Okay, where was this?"
Yeah.
It literally looked like someone's living room.
That's awesome.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we need to come up with a new scavenger hunt in the warmer weather.
Or something that's not so... I mean, places are open on Mondays, but
yeah, I know. It doesn't have to be a Monday. It would just be funny.
Someone pitched it to me last year, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. I really want to do it, but finding a good location to do it is tough, is field day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you almost did field day with your bartender and obstacle course thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The, sack races and
hell yeah.
race.
I mean, now that's...
Because I feel like you kind of quasi need a private place with a decent sized field. That
it wouldn't need to be private. You could do it in a public place. You might just have to tell the town that you're doing it, so that if there's something else that isn't going on, oh, for Jesus Christ!
Trust me, from someone who has to get permits from the town, that's not really.
No, not a permit, but you just ask we want to do this on this day. Is there something else going on so that we're not interacting with it?
The second you do that, they're like, you're going to need a permit for that.
Fuck you!
I'm telling you, man, it is not. It's not fun.
We just fucking show up and just raid.
Yeah,
why don't we just shut down an entire parking lot? Just show up and take over and be like,
you got to do it kind of that BBC style where we're going to shut down Middle Street, do races.
It's a one-way street anyway.
You get a cop detail? No. We just fucking had some drunk standing at the end waving people in the parking lot.
That's great.
Allegedly that happened.
Yeah, this Pixar didn't happen.
Shall we do some questions?
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
We've done questions.
I know, we haven't.
Carol, how in the heck can I actually talk to someone at Untapped? All they want to do is communicate via email and aren't getting any resolution to our issue. Do you guys even... Does anyone use
I was going to say, I haven't seen anybody use Untapped. Do they use it over at Pillory? Or is that a different one where that's the one where it flips through all the menu, all your beer lists, right?
Yeah, and I know
we still actually, if you turn the different HDMI, it still says it on there.
A lot of breweries have it so that Untapped is kind of scrolling at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I don't know any if anyone was hang on, let me take out my phone so I can do Untapped, I'd be like, what's fucking wrong?
No, yeah, I mean, I think Jordan still had it up until fairly recently, but I'll tell you what, it isn't easy getting a hold of them. I remember that always being an issue.
You're gonna cancel your shit and then they'll call you real quick.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're not giving you any more money.
Yeah. Threaten cancellation, and then they'll be like, "Oh, what's the problem?"
Yeah,
or cancel.
And then you won't have to deal with it anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. Yeah, other than Pillory, I don't think I've seen a place recently that's had a scrolling beer menu.
The second we had it, but I don't know if they still do.
I mean, it's just kind of I thought it was a pain in the ass.
Oh, it sucked.
I didn't, when we were using it at the BBCs, I was like, Jesus Christ, it wasn't as...
It was so unnecessary.
Yeah,
it was. Especially now, I don't think people are that into craft beer where they're going to go onto Untapped and be like, oh, we have to go to Joe Schmo Brewery.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the point.
I guess it worked in that time because everyone's like, where can I find this?
Yeah, where can I get this beer? Yeah.
We're going to get the...
Or if you had to do a rate or take a picture, it would get you certain badges and certain things. It was ooh. I don't know, but just drink a goddamn beer.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I can't drink a beer and talk at the same time. And you can't wear sunglasses.
And scratch my head. Thank you, Dan. You're welcome.
Yeah, so just threaten them with cancellation. That'll get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
You can also Google hard to find phone numbers sometimes. But generally, if they want to be hard to find, they're not helpful.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So either they're very angry that you have that number,
Like Facebook.
Facebook, yeah. Like you can call the Facebook.
You could call the Facebook.
Yeah, well, there's a number that you can
I
call,
know.
but it legitimately.
It's Mark Zuckerberg.
No, like there has to be like some sort of code to enter any kind of menu because it's literally like the recording is like essentially like you don't deserve this number and
You don't deserve this number.
It's Facebook. Why are you here?
Yeah.
and it just hangs up on you. Like it doesn't
That's
give you
hilarious.
it doesn't even say like dial an extension. It just like this is not an active number.
Thank you for
to
calling.
call.
Goodbye.
Yeah, essentially. Like, what are you fucking serious? You think we're gonna talk to you?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, from experience.
Yeah.
Megan, so what's your policy on watching TikToks, politics, porn?
What?
Those are sorry.
Oh.
TikToks, politics, porn, on top volume at the bar.
Fuck
We have
no.
a fun architecture feature called a whisper dome over our bar that amplifies anything and everything.
What?
I mean, probably say, "Hey, stop watching porn."
Yeah.
on your phone,
Yeah,
you
I
fucking
feel like
sicko.
If they're watching fucking TikTok or politics, it's not too much you can do. I mean, you can ask them.
No, we have politics definitely. You
Yeah.
can still be like, hey, man.
Yeah.
Turn that shit down.
Yeah. I do hate it when people like listen to like shit on full blast at the
Yeah.
bar. I fucking hate it.
I like to try to fucking noise them out. I'm like, all right,
Turn that volume up.
I don't want to listen to you. You don't want to listen to me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's so fucking rude, and they're always
I know.
like older.
Yeah.
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 Get a fucking pair of
Or
earbuds
crazy.
if you.
Yeah.
You want to get a pair of earbuds and just fucking listen to your shit by yourself. Like, people do that on planes too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
dude.
fucking full blown. There was one time there was a girl sitting in front of me, and she was watching TikToks, and it was just on full blast. And it's because you're flicking through it. It's like just one random sound after another. It's not even like she'd sit there and watch the whole thing and like.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I fucking couldn't stand.
And now you know what it's like to sit in the car with Alicia.
You're not supposed to say people's names.
Alicia.
My
Oh,
future
true love.
wife.
True love. True love.
Yeah, I don't. You just have to tell them politely. Just be like, you can turn it down, or you can
Or
get
turn the
earbuds, or
fuck
turn
up.
it
I feel like once it gets to porn, you can be like, you can shut that off.
You
Yeah, no
absolutely
way.
have to
Yeah.
shut that off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just tell
Spray
them,
him
like,
with the
dude.
spray gun.
Yeah, get the soda gun out and just start shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sir, if you need to watch porn in public, you have bigger
Yeah,
problems.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
issues.
dude. That's how you get on a list.
Franny, how often do your hourly employees get raises?
Whenever they change the minimum wage. No, I'm just kidding. Well, actually, not really, but
Is there like a set, like
I don't know.
you make X amount, 90 days to get a
I mean, like for us, we kind of do like a
Is it when
like-
they're like, I'm giving my notice, they're like, hang on. Let's talk.
How about we give you more money?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say there's like a time for us anyway. There's like
Yeah.
a time frame on it. Like I think after like the first if you get hired, like it's usually like the first 6-ish months, maybe a little longer depending on the season. Like so if we just had somebody start now and it's dead in the next few months, like, hey, good job, we gave you a raise, even though we didn't really see what your full potential was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say like 6-ish months, maybe at most a year. But like,
You get a bug on you.
I have a
Yeah,
bug.
you have a fly on your shoulder.
Oh, what's up, dude? But like front of the house employees, they don't get raises. They just
Right, yeah,
whatever
that's-
the
yeah,
state
raises
minimum.
work
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
when
that's why they,
I know, right? Yeah. I mean, Carl doesn't give me raises, so I've been.
Do
Give
Is
it
it-
yourself.
Yeah, literally.
is there like do you guys do like annual reviews? Is that like a thing that the restaurant industry does?
I feel like I used to get them in corporate jobs.
Right. We
but,
definitely
like,
get them in corporate jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
never got a fucking raise from it because I was a server or a bartender.
Yeah.
So like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, like.
oh, my manager review. I don't remember. at the other place.
Yeah. Well, for the BBCs, we would just kind of be like, we'd have to kind of like ask for it.
Yeah.
You know. But I think we all kind of knew like the 1 year mark.
Yeah.
Was like that's when we start asking for like, hey, can I have my review?
I feel like once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's more like salary and stuff like that. Like
exactly.
Hourly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on your job.
Well, and that's why I'm saying like I say 6-ish months because like okay, like what if you start in the height of our busy season and you're fucking cranking it, right? And then it's like, all right, you really did a good job. Let's show that we noticed.
Yeah.
So, but I would say like a year. I'd say a year is a good time frame.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
about
so.
reasonable. 2 weeks.
Yeah. I want to raise every 2 weeks.
After your first paycheck.
Every 6 months we take money away. Otto, I own a pizza place. I would love to add a deep fryer. I never used a ventless hood system before. Does anyone have any real experience with them?
Nope.
I actually have a ventless hood system in my house.
What is a ventless hood system?
It's a carbon filter that goes in the vent. So I have one in my house because I didn't have a vent in my house when I bought it.
Yeah.
So it looks just like a hood vent, and it even goes like all the way up to the ceiling, kind of mostly for aesthetics and everything else. But it's a carbon filter.
Oh, so it doesn't actually vent it. It just kind of like
it just collects everything. Yeah, and then you just have to change the filter like every. I guess it depends on how much you use it.
Every time you get a raise.
Every time you get a raise, so once a year. I feel like that's a fire hazard. But if you're like if it's a fryolator and you're like cranking out stuff, like you'd have to change it like probably like once. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I got mine not too long ago, so I haven't had to change it yet. So I don't know, but they work okay. They don't work when you're cooking a turkey for 3.5 hours and it starts dripping onto the fucking thing. All of a sudden, my whole house like fucking is just one big pile of smoke.
I tell you, the normal vented hood doesn't work real well when you get the pan too hot and drop butter in it. Like right next to fucking fire smoke detector. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's a small enough place, I guess it could work. Yeah. You just have to change the filters out.
Are they like...
Let's get an air fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
It's not the same.
Just get fucked.
Get fucked.
That's the more answer.
There you go.
Back on track.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, Mitchell, a friend of mine trying to convince me to put a TV in our dining room. We have 6 TVs in the bar, middle to upper class Mexican place. Thoughts? ?
I don't think it's a bad idea.
We didn't have, in Cedarville, we didn't have a TV in our dining room.
Yeah.
And it was, I think people liked it because they didn't, like if people wanted to go and sit somewhere, have dinner and not be distracted by a television, they liked it.
I think it depends where you are.
Yeah, it depends.
I think it depends on your client. You know, that you should...
I think Tolson's only has one TV in their dining room, and it's like way off in the corner, so like you can barely even see it.
It's almost like something you should be asking your staff, all your regulars.
No, never ask the regulars, Andy,
because they're going to tell you that, and then you're going to open up a can of worms, and they're going to tell you everything else you don't want to know.
But you know what I'm saying is like it really kind of depends on your client,
right? Okay. Well, if they have tables in the bar area. Then you can be like, all right, well, if that's what the atmosphere you're looking for, then you can go in the bar area and at a table and not still be sitting at the bar.
Yeah, like if you have a demand for more like TVs, like if you're losing business because sports are on and like, I'm always sitting here, I can see it, or I'm fucking leaving this house, so probably put a TV in there. Right. But like if you're just putting one in and put one in, then probably don't need it.
Yeah. Who's he saying was asking for the television?
His friend Mitchell.
Yeah. I think it was just like a you know what you should do kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
My friend when you ask the regulars, Andy.
Yeah.
I mean, people are going to fucking stare at their phone anyway, so they're not going to really know.
Yeah. Look at your... It's just like I said, if you... Like, I think, I'm trying to think... In the framing of BBC, we had TVs even in, like, the family room.
Oh, yeah.
People still watch, like, Celtics games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you're a big sports town, maybe.
Right.
But if you're putting it on to just have a TV
Something
there,
on, yeah.
it's really
Yeah, like if you're going to have like fucking reruns of Friends on it or something.
well, maybe people will come in for that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. There's an app that I wonder if it still exists. But there was one time that there was a guy came in and he was watching some specific college football game, and he starts scanning the TV with his phone, and I was like, what is he doing? And it's an app where you scan whatever you're watching, and then the audio from it goes into your earbuds.
Oh, that's
so you
cool.
can watch it but still hear it, and you're not watching it on your phone. So like you can do other stuff on your phone. And I forget what the name of the app is, and I'm like, that's wicked
That's
cool.
a very cool app.
Yeah. I think I might still have it. I just don't know.
You gotta get that to the TikTok guy watching porn.
Yeah.
Wait, how does he scan the porn on his phone?
All of a sudden, it's just on all the TVs
all
in the
the
bar.
TVs.
You're like, what the fuck?
He just needs earbuds. That's
Yeah. I'll have to find it, but I thought that was a pretty cool
It's
app.
a neat app.
Yeah.
Look at technology being
Look at that.
used for good for
Useful.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
B-Dog Craig.
Yo, what up, B-Dog?
I just got hired as a floor manager for a barbecue restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first manager position that I didn't move up from as a server / bartender. Any advice?
Oh, just going straight into it, raw
You
dogging
gotta
it.
shift someone in the yard on the first day. Or
Yeah,
they
yeah.
won't respect you.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta fucking put your foot down now.
Don't try to make big waves.
Yeah.
Tiny ripples, bro.
Yep. I'm with you on that one. Because you want to come in and not necessarily be the one that everybody walks all over because you're the new guy, but at the same time, you don't want to come in and just start fucking being Hitler. Like, there is an in-between,
And
you
don't
know?
come in and just fucking shake up how everything is
Yeah.
done. I feel like
Yeah. You kind of have to take a step back and observe everything for a little while.
Yeah.
And then, but in the meantime, if something happens, or if something, say, if it's a staff thing, or if it's mostly a staff thing, but stabbing, yeah.
You handle that.
Yeah, then you gotta,
Get
be
the mop
assertive.
bucket out.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, yeah, I definitely wouldn't.
Don't go trying to change stuff.
Yeah.
Right away.
Right away, yeah.
Ease into it.
Yep. Take a month or two to really assess how things are and how. And Matt used to make fun of me like crazy because when I first started working the Jetty up in Marshfield, for the first, I would probably say the first month, maybe a little less, I'd walk around with a notebook, and I would just write stuff down. Just some thoughts of okay, they do this way. Is this really the way they should do it? Or, they don't utilize this as much as they should. And I'd write it all down because I forget everything anyway. And he always thought, him and the rest of the staff, because obviously they didn't know me yet, always thought I was critiquing what they were doing.
Yeah. and I think before you change
that redhead
something,
guy.
I know. Fire him.
I think before you try to change something, ask them why they do it a specific way.
Yep.
Well, yeah, just one of those because this post on the left makes it weird to
right.
There could be some thing you don't quite.
That's
notice.
part of the observing is asking questions and being it's kind of weird that you do it like this. I haven't experienced this before. Why is it that way? Yeah. And if they're just just because, okay, well, there's a better way to do it.
If there's one thing people hate in the industry is change.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to say industry.
Yeah, just anything. Yeah, because when
one thing people hate.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. When I first started working here, because they all pooled tips, they didn't do the hourly, the math for an hourly.
Yeah.
They just, whenever the new person would come in, they just start ringing under their number, and they would do it. Again, it was one of those things, and I was like, why are we doing it this way?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we've just always done it this way, or after. Because I think it was after COVID that they started pooling tips. I don't think it was maybe always necessarily like that. And the bar manager was new, so I don't think she knew there was an hourly math. I don't think she knew. So she's like, oh, well, the easiest way is just like, okay, so we're going to start ringing under this person's number. And then when the next person comes in at 5 o'clock, then we're going to cash out that person and then split the tips and then start ringing under a new person. And then it all starts fresh. And I'm like, okay, but then, like, what if somebody leaves? And she's like, okay, so we just do the same thing when they leave. And then we'll just start. I'm like, okay. So finally, after a little while, I was like, listen, it's working, but it's not really the best way to do it. And so you just like, how about this? And so you just present it. And now that's what we do. We just do the hourly like everybody else. But, you know, when I first started working here, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Like, I've never seen
really,
this.
That's how she posed it.
Yeah.
So you guys are fucking idiots.
I was like, this makes no sense to me at all whatsoever. But it's the way they've been doing it, so I'm not going to come in and tell them no. I'm like, I'm going to figure out why, and I'm going to,
watch
whatever.
It,
yeah.
Tell them it's fucking stupid.
And then eventually I'm going to tell them it's fucking stupid. Yeah.
It's my way to the highway.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
Get out!
Yeah. All right. I included this one because I have a very specific opinion about this.
Okay.
What is your bathroom break policy? How often and how long?
You gotta go.
I worked at a place, which you guys already can fill in the blank, and they literally said, how long do you think it takes for someone to stop work and go to the bathroom and come back? And my response was, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not doing
if someone's going, like, to the bathroom frequently and it's becoming, like, an issue, especially if it's, like, front of the house.
Yes.
Then you start to, in my opinion, I start to get a little suspicious of what they're doing.
Yep.
Cocaine.
Meaning drugs, yeah. There was a girl way back when I used to work with, and it was, like, she constantly was going into the bathroom. Turns out she was ripping nips. So, and probably doing drugs too, but we found the nips. So, that was the only thing that we could, and so it's like, you just have to, like, kind of keep an eye on it, but, like, back of the house too, that's even, like, because, like, if it's busy and they're just constantly fucking going to the bathroom, like, you can't tell somebody, hey, don't go to the bathroom. I don't know. It's like,
and they could have some sort of medical issue,
and that's how you can, like, pull them aside and just say, like, hey, like, I've noticed lately that you've been going to the bathroom a lot. Is everything okay? Do you have, like, a condition I should know about? Just so I'm aware, like,
so I don't think you're ripping nips and doing coke in the bathroom.
Yeah. Or just fucking sitting on the toilet and not doing anything.
Watching TikToks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy at the other bar.
Exactly. They're just having a fucking porn party in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That is disgusting for so many reasons.
But that also, But that also, like, especially, like, the back of the house, like, it cuts into pay. So, like, if you're going to the bathroom for 30 minutes at a time, multiple times, I hate to be the person to be like, you're stealing time, you're stealing money, but, like, dude, like, what are you doing, dude? And you can't be like, hey, clock out for a shit break. Yeah, like, it's... But at the same time, like, you just have to address it and pretend like you're being nice when in reality you're just trying to tell them to stop going to the fucking bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
Stop taking fucking shits.
Get a diaper.
It's a little...
Just put a shit bucket in the corner.
It's a little different in this kind of, like, thing is because they're either here or they're in the bathroom. Like, it's fairly hard to kind of, like, lose track of someone in at least this restaurant.
Yeah.
But working in retail, like, people would just fucking disappear. You would see it for like an hour.
Well, remember
like,
when you were a little kid, you used to hide in the clothes racks?
yeah, exactly.
He's hiding in the pallets of cement in the Home Depot.
Dude,
in the sheds.
Yeah.
I worked
the nap sheds.
overnight stocking groceries way back, and there's a dude that used to, like, wall himself off in the paper towel aisle and take naps on the paper towels.
Respect that
Good
guy.
for that guy, yeah. Pick the comfiest spot.
Jonathan, what are your opinions regarding bartenders' significant others hanging out at the bar during their shift?
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah. As long as they're getting charged for all that shit and they're not being a distraction, I don't care. But the moment they become a problem, see you the fuck later.
Yeah, there's definitely been, like, I don't really think I've ever had an incident where I'm like, all right, enough is enough. But
I was gonna say, do you think it's more common that it's a problem, more common that's not a problem?
Depends
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's been a few incidences where I'm like, all right, I'm at the point where I'm going to have to keep an eye on how long they're here.
Yeah.
If they're getting charged. Like, there's definitely times where you're like, all right,
Yeah,
I gotta
you
keep
don't
an
watch
eye on
that
it.
shit.
Yeah.
But it's never gotten to the point where I'm like, I have to pull the staff member aside and say, hey, I'm glad that they like to come in here. I'm glad that they like to spend their money, but I also have to make sure that you're charging them for stuff. Like, I haven't had to go that far yet. But friends are just as bad. It doesn't have to be significant others.
Oh, yeah.
That's
friends
very
are just
true.
as bad.
Worse,
Yeah.
I've been to those places where you're like, I exist too.
I know.
Hello.
Yeah. But but there definitely has been like more times than not. I've made it known to the servers, kind of in passing, or like casually. Hey, I noticed your boyfriend's coming in here a lot. Like, and so now they're aware that I'm aware.
Yeah.
And so like, and then like I'll just kind of throw in there, be like, hey, that's great, he's coming in. Just make sure that you're paying attention to everybody else, including your significant other. And then it's like the issue maybe won't even happen. But I feel like more often than that, I just kind of slide it in there.
Yeah.
To have the conflict, to say it so they know that I know.
Yeah.
Because I know everything. My eyes are everywhere. Especially even when I'm not at home. Even when I'm at home and I'm on the
Santa
cameras.
Claus.
Yeah.
You're sleeping.
Because like even like when Matt used to be in the industry, like I would be aware of like, okay, I'm gonna go visit him, but I'm only gonna go for like 1 or 2 drinks, and then I'm gonna leave. Like I'm not gonna stick around.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And even like if I go visit friends, I don't expect them to talk to me. I don't expect them like I'm just.
I hope they don't. No.
We know, Dan. We know.
I know. I'm like,
I meant Jess's friends.
Yeah. I know. There's sometimes I'll like when I'm in Boston and I'll text Dan. I'm like, "Are you working?" He's like, "Yes, but don't come in here." I'm like, "All right, fine."
But I tell you that for your own sake.
That's true.
It's not that Jess don't come here because I don't want you to. It's like you don't want to be in this building right now.
Yeah, that's fair, because I think one of them was like Marathon Monday.
Yeah,
You're
Marathon
like, you
Monday.
do not want to
You don't wanna
be
be
in
in
here.
there.
I was like, okay, you're right. I go home now.
It's like we're so busy. Like you can come see me. I'm gonna say hi to you, and I'm not gonna fucking talk to you the rest of the time you're there.
And that's the thing is like I feel like on a slower night, whatever, but like on a busy night, I wouldn't want. Friends or whatever, like, you can kind of, I feel like it's somewhat easier to ignore your friends, but, like, a significant other would be like, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
Like,
the significant other thing is always tricky, because, like, it depends on how they are, too. Like, are they here because they're hovering, because they don't trust you, and, like, they're watching your every move?
They met you when you were dating someone else, and you were the bartender at the bar that they went to. Yeah,
like, why aren't you paying attention to me? It's like, well, because I'm at work.
So
like,
I make my money.
Yeah. Or, like, they'd be like, why were you flirting with that guy? Well, because that's how I make money. Yeah, like,
he's going to tip me more.
Yeah, like, there's some people, like, they're just...
I got your money. No.
Yeah. They're just not made to be part of that, like, lifestyle, I guess so to say. Like, when I was married, like, I used to take my wedding ring off because I didn't want it to get damaged.
That's a very interesting thing, because I know people who have been divorced that would break their wedding ring out.
Oh, yeah, no, I've worn fake wedding rings when working at T-Bones.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't want people hitting on me.
Yeah.
But, like, I used to take my wedding ring off because, like, there was a prong missing on one of my diamonds, so I didn't want it to get ruined, like, whatever. So I would take it off and I would put it up above the register, and you'd be coming, you're like, why aren't you wearing your wedding ring? I'm like, because I don't want to get damaged. She's, no, it's because you want people to think that you're not married and you fucking, and that's why we're divorced. Because he's a fucking douchebag. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I've definitely witnessed those kind of significant others in the bars.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's like when you kind of chime in maybe quicker than.
Yeah, I've only dealt with it like as a coworker, never as like a manager.
And has it always been like annoying? Be like, oh man, she's fucking talking to her boyfriend the whole time while I'm doing all the work over here.
Man.
Yeah,
you should be able to tell your coworker.
Yeah,
that,
that's true. Like, fucking cut the shit, dude.
Share money, you fucking.
You're fucking it up for everybody.
Yeah.
And that there's a, do you know Bistro Huddy on TikTok?
Yes.
They do like one where the manager comes over. He's like, "All right, you have to go," and she's like, "What?" He's like, "You got to go." He's like, "You're fucking up his money.
Yeah.
You're fucking up my money. I'll pay your drink. Get
Gotta
out."
go. That'd be great.
Yeah. All right. If you could do it all again, would you work in the hospitality industry?
Hey, Mahoney, if you could do it all again, would you bartend?
Yeah, I like bartending.
I know, you do like bartending now. I like it too. If I could start over again, would I work in the restaurant business? Probably.
I don't know if I'd go like the same route of places I went.
Sure.
But, like, yeah, I liked it.
It's funny because like a lot of times I go, "This looks like it'd be a fun job," but then it's.
I know.
I'm not saying it's not work, and I'm not saying
I know.
It totally can be.
But I feel like
Oh, it can.
it's like a great. It's because you're not going to work with many fields where it's like the camaraderie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like kindred spirits, man,
Yeah.
bonded through trauma. Like that's
I
it.
have
Like,
thought- many a times when I thought about it, like maybe I should pick up some bar shifts or something.
but you got to know when you need to move on.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
But then I see people like dealing with some of the shit they deal with, and be like, "All right, this is a problem."
Yeah, but you know how you deal with that stuff? You fucking end your shift and you count all the money you made.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely not meant for everyone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, it's...
You gotta have a thick skin. You can't be
Oh, yeah.
sensitive, and you
Yeah.
have to have a certain amount of anxiety. You can
Yeah.
fucking bottle down. Like, shit like that.
Bottle it way down.
You learn how to work and live without sleeping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. No,
A lot
I
of stuff.
guess
I
I'd do
feel
it all
like
over again.
Again, not easier, but I feel like the kind of more divey local bar would
Yeah.
be.
Oh, you definitely gotta find your niche. You definitely gotta
Yeah.
find your
where
place.
you could be like, I'm not making that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
when
know
I
It's hard to get into, though.
Yeah. I know. Well, yeah, because once you're there, you're like, wow, this is great. I can tell
Yeah.
them to fuck off. I ain't
Yeah.
never leaving here.
You just gotta know, you don't want to grow up. I say grow up because people in this industry are Peter Pan. They don't. But you gotta know when you don't want to end up being the fucking miserable old person that's still
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
Like the moment it becomes too much for you, you gotta take
You gotta
a step
get
back
out.
and
Yeah.
figure something
There's
else out.
Or just go into management.
there's like a local bar that I used to go to fairly regularly, and I've been back to it a couple times recently. And there was an old woman who used to work there, and she still works there. And now it's just like, wow, but wow.
Yeah.
You know, like-
Yeah.
You're
Don't get me wrong though.
Yeah.
There's some people that can. This is the only job they ever
Yep.
need to do,
Yeah.
and they'll do it forever, and then they'll die behind there, and you get buried with your bottle opener.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Yeah. Yeah, I'd definitely do it all over again.
Yeah.
But you definitely gotta find. Yeah. You definitely gotta find your place.
Yep.
Because like I worked at East Bay for a while, and that's a little. I wouldn't say fancy, but it's like it's a
it's
little
a little more
bit more
upscale,
fancy.
yeah.
I was like, wow,
Yep.
this is not me. I gotta wear a button-up shirt and a tie.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Some people love that shit.
Yeah, some people
Yeah.
do love that shit. There was a kid that I met down in Nashville who was our bartender at a barbecue place, and he just got a new job at like a really fancy like Mexican tapas restaurant. And so he was like telling us all about it and like whatever, and I was like, yeah, that doesn't sound like for me at all. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, you're going from this, which is literally like, it's a bar with like 7 seats, and it's like a serve your own barbecue place, but the bartender like gets you drinks,
Yep.
and it's just super laid back, and and you're gonna go to like a fine dining.
Yeah.
I was like, good luck.
Yeah.
But he said he used to work, because it's closed down there now, was Dick's Last Resort.
Yep.
And he said that was the best job he ever had.
That was the one where like, you get to shit on people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I know, I'd fucking be happy there too.
Yeah, that's, I wonder if that, like, I'd like to get someone from one of the, because there's a few that used to be like the Roadkill Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
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 But to get someone from one of those and be like, all right, what's too far?
Yeah. What's
Yeah, no,
what's the
I've had
handbook
a
they give you?
few. I've had a few conversations with some of them at Dick's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, you just don't. He's like, you gotta kind of like feel your table. So like maybe one like to you would be a minor joke would really like offend them.
Yeah.
So he's like, you kind of just have to like just get a feel for your table off the bat.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of start to push the envelope a little more. But like anything that has to do with like. They said something about like anything that has to do with like kids, or I think they kind of really, that's all they said was like kids. Like maybe don't like shit on the kids, or maybe don't like, but if you're bringing a fucking your kids at Dick's Last Resort, maybe you're asking for it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you're quite literally
those are the people that
Yeah.
can't parent their own kids,
Yeah.
so they want you to do it for them.
Ugh.
Like, this guy needs some fucking mental abuse.
Yeah. Like, I remember when I was not little, but younger, like probably middle school, and my parents took us to like Roadkill Cafe.
Yeah.
And the only thing I specifically remember, like, we ordered dessert, and they're like, all right, come on. And they fucking made us go get our own dessert. Which you're like, that's funny, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? And then a kid, you're like, I'm in the fucking kitchen, this is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's chain smoking over my...
Yeah. I'd love for a place like that to open up around here.
Let's turn this into it.
It just doesn't, I don't know, they never seem to, like...
there.
Yeah.
They just never seem to, like, last, you know?
I don't know. Dick's Last Resort.
Are they still around?
Yeah, they are. But the
Oh.
only reason why, and I don't know how accurate this is, but this kid told me that there's a bunch of locations still open, but he closed the locations in all of like liberal parts of the state of the country, because he like didn't approve of like politics and like whatever. So like the Massachusetts one closed, and the Nashville one closed, and like whatever.
There's still one in Vegas.
Right. So I was like, that could kind of seem likely, but I don't know how accurate that is. But they're not closing because they're not doing business.
Right.
They're closing because this guy's being a dillhole. A dick.
Hey. All right. Ken wants to know, he said, what's the craziest thing you've ever deep fried? But I'm going to say, what's the craziest thing you've ever had deep fried? Heard of deep fried?
Deep fried?
Deep fried.
I don't know.
A cheeseburger.
Yeah, deep fried
that sounds like that'd be
cheeseburger?
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like the whole ass thing?
Yeah, this guy, one of my high school jobs, there's like a little like sandwich shop we made. There's like a cheeseburger with cheese inside it. And I don't know how he did it. He deep fried it. It was fucking awesome.
Huh.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I know the kind of, not the go-to, but like the one you see a lot is deep fried Oreos. I fucking hate them.
I've never had one.
Yeah.
I've never had one.
It
like my Oreos regular.
It liquefies like any kind of fat that's in them, so they're just like mush. And people are like, they're so good. I'm like, they're gross.
I don't think I've ever had.
I don't really fuck with.
I don't really like
random shit.
Yeah.
I don't really.
It's a very state fair kind of thing. I feel
Yeah. For a while there, the kid, like when I was in Cedarville, the guys in the kitchen were like testing out what to deep fry, and like just out of curiosity, and like, whatever. But I never really ate any of it. I was like, nah, you guys can do whatever you want.
When I was making pizza, because it was like the pizza place, and then there's a grocery store like right behind it. Mm-hmm. I made like a s'mores pizza.
Okay.
Oh. Dessert pizza's good.
Yeah, it was fucking really good.
I love dessert pizzas. When I
did something else with like the crunchy tofu. No, not the crunchy. What are they?
Tofu.
No, it's like the crunchy noodles. The crunchy.
Crunchy noodles. Okay.
Yeah, the crunchy.
Yeah. We don't need the real words.
Yeah. It was like a teriyaki chicken with the crunchy noodles.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That was good.
Yeah. Deep fried? No. Nothing crazy, I don't think.
Yeah.
I do like my fried dough. Fried dough is
pretty
delicious.
Yep.
Although when you like put the powdered sugar on it and then like you go to take a bite and like you exhale at the same time and it fucking just dusts your whole face.
Or you accidentally inhale a little bit.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
Looks like you just did a bunch of cocaine.
Yeah.
I swear it's powdered sugar.
That's why I keep telling me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Last Christmas, I got like
cocaine.
I've never.
It's a white Christmas.
I've legitimately never even seen cocaine.
It's like it's snowing inside today.
But
snow globe in my brain right now.
But I got like one of those Bisquick pancake things.
Yeah.
The yellow that you shake.
Yeah.
Whatever. And instead of like adding water, I added like a
cocaine.
banana bread. Banana bread beer. It was really fucking good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see that.
Don't love bananas.
You don't like bananas?
Well, I like bananas. I don't like banana bread.
Okay. All right. We're friends again.
Yeah. Bananas are cool.
Bananas are
High in
cool.
potassium,
You're also
Need that
radioactive.
shit. Fuck yeah, let's go.
What?
Even better.
Potassium's radioactive.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like
It's So if I eat enough bananas, would I become radioactive?
No, you die.
You already are.
Oh.
Actually, you probably die.
Oh, sorry, I meant toxic.
You would probably die. You would die of the amount of bananas that you had to eat.
How many bananas does it take to die?
Well, you probably wouldn't poop. That's probably where you die from.
I want to ask Google how. Hey Google,
what's the lethal amount of bananas?
how many bananas do you have to eat before you die?
Google's like, hey, how much weed did you smoke today?
Says I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Me neither, Google. And welcome to Bar Talk.
Yeah.
All right.
How many bananas are too many? Is what it says.
Did it give you an answer?
A bunch.
Hold on.
All right, last call is part of the podcast where we go around the table and plug whatever we would like to. And I'm going to start with Jess because she's kind of Googling, and I figured it's a good time to throw it on.
I need someone to go out there and eat as many bananas as possible and then report back to me on whether or not you're going to die.
That is not recommended by the Bar Talk podcast.
Well, no, we want you to have one less before you die.
Okay, yes, yeah. You're like, oh, I'm on the verge of death. I won't have that last banana, and then I need to
So when you're in the ICU, don't fucking email us. Yes.
Email Jess.
Yeah, email me.
But just tell her the answer.
At jessbananas.com.
Tim, what do you got?
I don't know. I mean, what other fruits can you die from?
I know, right?
You can die from anything if you
You try hard enough?
All right, you have that get up and go.
Oh, here you go. How many bananas does it take to die from radiation?
How many?
It's a lot.
You need to eat 10 million bananas in one sitting.
Yeah. So you would die from... Your stomach would explode first.
Yeah.
And induce radiation
She died
poisoning.
from radioactive bananas, but really her stomach just burst.
In one sitting. How short does that sitting have to be?
Yeah.
How many bananas for a nuclear bomb? 118 billion bananas.
Sick. All right, start growing some bananas.
All right. So this has been our plug for Chiquita.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing.
I know, right? Damn, sorry.
Banana bombs. Let's go.
Banana bombs.
That's a drink. That's got to be a
Ooh, there you go.
But what is it?
It comes with like little radioactive.
It comes in like a mini 5-gallon drum.
Yeah.
With a radioactive.
Yeah. There you go.
I like
Perfect.
it. That's what Donkey Kong was throwing at Mario.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I guess I don't even know who's plugging what, but fuck it.
It's you.
I plug Chiquita. All right, so you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com. Do not eat 10 million bananas, you'll die.
But 9 million.
900.
Just stick it to 9 million. You know,
Yeah, million.
9 million bananas.
Your banana might be slightly more radioactive. Stick it at 9 million. And so you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com. You can find us on all social media at bartalkcast. And
don't watch porn on your phone at the bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leave your porn at home.
I feel like
Jimmy.
this episode's going to be called... this episode's going to be called Porn, TikTok, and Radioactive Bananas.
Dan's bananas radioactive.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.